Hi. Autopilot has not killed me yet. Paul Daniels is here. Paul Daniels is here. Why is Paul Daniels here? I don't have any snacks. I kind of wish I had some peanuts. I'd kill for some peanuts right now. Staying up to 4 a.m. coding. Troll indeed, Eric. Troll indeed. I'm a tra-la-la-la-la. Tra-la-la-la-la. I'm a tra-la-la-la-la-lor. We'll go in front of this GNC truck. Tra-la-la-la-la. Tra-la-la. Three lanes to 2 lanes. Bridge ice is... Whoa, there's a rainbow. Can you see the rainbow up ahead? Yo, that is cool. I hope you guys can see that. There's an actual rainbow coming out of the clouds over here. It's a double rainbow. Oh, come on. Now it's turning. No, don't turn. I want to see the rainbow. Come on. No. This is so cool. I haven't seen a rainbow in forever. Rainbows make me happy. Oh, it's gone. Now all you got is a bunch of falling apart trees. I wonder if it's someone's job to go through all these trees over here. If so, I imagine that's a lonely job. Walk through here, see the trees. Why are you picking up water in my windshield? Mother. Stop dirtying up my windshield. Mm-hmm. 118 miles of beer on the wall, 118 miles of beer. Take one down, toss it around, 118 miles of beer on the wall. 118 miles of beer on the wall, 118 miles of beer. Take it down, pass it around, 118 miles of beer on the wall. 118 left turn changes in the wall, 118 left lane changes. What am I driving through? It's not even rain. It's not raining. The water is coming, it's not coming from the sky, it's coming from the ground. I think it's reverse rain. Like the cloud is located beneath the pavement rather than in the sky. That's crazy. I didn't know that they had clouds in the pavement. But that's some crazy shit that I was not expecting. And that's really, really cool. I didn't know they had that. I didn't know that existed. I didn't know that was a thing. But now I do. I'm amazed. It's like, wow. That's cool. Uh-oh. No, no, no. You stay in your lane, trucker. You don't stay in your lane, so we pass you. Okay. It's already foggy enough without me having to worry about having to ride on the left side of my lane. The left side of the left lane. The left side of the left lane. Maybe I'm signaling. Maybe that's what I'm doing. Remember the other day when that guy did a border pair video on my channel and he said I'm not Vaush? What if he was Vaush? What if I'm Vaush? That's why I don't. That's why I'm on the left. Maybe that's why. That's Autopilot saying, fuck you, the weather's too shitty, you drive yourself. Understandable. Now I can't go to sleep anymore. Man, I was gonna take a nice nap, wake up in heaven, but now I gotta actually pay attention. What do you I don't know anything about Windows 11, I haven't tried it. I'm a student in New York and I took my computer to your shop. The repair is high and as a student it's hard. Student discount or can you talk? I am $90,000 behind on my store's rent because I gave a bunch of discounts last year. We could all use a break here. We could all use a break. I have about 600 videos in this channel that can help you fix your device yourself. If you do not wish to pay me for the repair, I completely respect that. I understand it. I live in a rip-off city that has rip-off taxes, where the rent is rip-off, which is why I have to pay entry-level employees 20 to 40 bucks an hour. Yeah, everything here is kind of a fuck fest. What is wrong with your computer? That's my question, because some things have a margin and some don't. So, like for instance, the screens for the MacBook Pro Retinas, those things used to be like 80 bucks. So if someone needed a discount, I could give it to them. And then they became $360 to $450, and at that point, it's like no discount for you. But they go, well, what is wrong with your machine? What is the issue with it? What is the problem? Because maybe we could work something out where, like, if you're willing to have a shitty turnaround time or something, we can give you a better deal. What do you have? What is wrong with it? And we go from there. Also, I think I'm kind of talking to myself here. So, yeah. I'm just going to be honest with you here. If you take your computer to virtually any place that's not in New York City, if you mail it to somebody else, even the people in my chat, you'll pay less money. Like Tim Herman at TCRS Circuit charges less than me. Chris Long at BNC Connection in Kentucky charges less than me. A lot of these people charge less than I do because their employees don't have to pay $2,000 to $3,000 a month in rent for their studio apartments. So I just want to be clear here. If you take this to a different place, they'll probably give you a better deal. Like, my prices are based on the fact that I live in a rip-off city. But if you can tell me what your machine needs or give me an idea, then I can work with you. But it seems like you disappeared, so now I don't know if I can. You're gone. Okay, he's gone. Yeah, he's gone. Okay, so next topic. I tried. I did my best. I think he got scared and ran away. Very possible. I love how the rights repair movement is history repeating itself. Remember the automotive industry? Yeah, except the automotive industry had people give millions of dollars to support rights to repair, whereas I have not. I was supposed to have a meeting today with a billionaire, and I never heard back. I was supposed to have a meeting yesterday too. Never heard back on that either. So I'm kind of like giving up the MacBook Pro water damage. One employee said $575 plus that. Oh, okay. You need the board repair and a touch bar. Yeah, you're kind of screwed there. The touch bar is a pain in the dick to replace in that machine. Yeah, so it sounds like the motherboard is that you need a motherboard repair and a touch bar. Well, yeah. How about this? Email Steve at rossmangroup.com with 2 S's and 2 N's. And Steve is usually the one that manages this based on the difficulty of the repair. And let's see if we can work something out. Maybe you will help me organize my office so it's less of a clusterfuck and we give you a discount or something. I don't know. Maybe something like that. Email Steve at rossmangroup.com. It'll CC me too. What audio setup are you using now for listening to music? Shitty Tesla speakers. I mean, I'll be fair. All car speakers suck. There's no such thing as a good car hi-fi system because you're limited by the acoustics of a vehicle. But yeah, I've been traveling, so this and my headphones. $5 says that the job turns into a clusterfuck and bad feelings all around. That's what usually happens, and that's why Steve usually kicks me in the balls when I do what? We'll see. Let's spread the bad feelings all around. Let's spread the bad feelings. Indentured servitude discount program. I want to discuss right to repair with you. I'm an individual who loves tinkering, and I wanted to discuss how not being able to replace a phone battery because it's glued into the phone case affects me. You probably could have discussed how it affects you in the time it took for you to make that comment. And if you're wondering why I'm salty, it's because I've been driving for about 8 hours. So I have a license to be salty here. But if you would like to discuss how this affects you, you could type it into the comment section there, and then you can hit enter, and then we have a discussion. If you mean like you want to call me personally and have a conversation about it, Where are you exactly? I'm in beautiful Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Long Pond, Pennsylvania. And this is a long pond because I've been driving here for quite a while and the map still says I'm in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. You didn't stay in Wisconsin very long. I stayed there for I believe 5 days. Actually, yeah, no, four and a half or 5 days. I have to bring this piece of shit car back to the showroom. So Tesla can like fix the seatbelt shit and all that stuff. But I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish with this trip. So I plan on going back to see my dad a few more times, but I accomplished what I planned to accomplish. With this trip, what I wanted to accomplish was getting my dad to understand his family's vision of how his life would be improved if he put a bit more effort into his personal fitness after recovering from surgery. And I accomplished my mission. And I'm happy that I accomplished my mission because it means that I get to have more years with my dad. His girlfriend is happy because his girlfriend likes him, would probably want to have some more years with him. But I'll probably see him again. So I took him out to lunch. We had a 45-minute conversation. A la Jim Camp Start With No. Thank you, by the way, to the Jim Camp. He's in a better place now, but that book helped me a lot for being able to have these types of conversations where you, let's say, have to convince your dad to go to a gym. And also, my dad's kind of a prideful person, so I was kind of worried that he would be like aggravated or annoyed or weirded out by the fact that his kid is paying for it. Because I know that Social Security doesn't pay shit. Like the trainer that I hired is charging more than Social Security, probably what Social Security pays. But I got my job done. Stubbornness in your family, say it ain't so. yeah, about that. He's a really good guy. He's a good dude. I love my dad. But yeah, I got my stubbornness is hereditary, I'd say. Stubbornness is hereditary. He's a really good dude. I like my dad. I would almost say I love my dad. I actually would say that I love my dad. He's a good guy. That sucked. Pennsylvania is a city on each end, Kentucky in the middle. Pennsyltucky. Because I did, Jeffrey. I don't feel like renting a car when I get off the plane. I don't feel like dealing with taking a cab to the plane. I don't feel like going through the TSA. I don't feel like waiting for the plane, waiting to board the plane. Then you have to wait to get on the plane. Then you have to wait for the plane to go. Then after the plane goes, you have to wait to get off the plane. Then you have to wait to get your bags. Then you have to wait for the cab. Then you have to ride with the... No, fuck all that. I genuinely hate... I dislike every aspect of the flying experience. I detest the whole thing. I dislike flying too, but driving from California to New York is a hike. I have no plans on going to California, so I can't really tell. Yeah. I have zero plans of going to California. Shad, we're getting into the weeds now. No weeds. They may bring you your bags and blah. Like no, that whole experience sucks. I could get to TSA pre-check or something like that, but like I don't. Then I'm kind of committing to this fucking flying all the time thing. I don't want to deal with flying. And after doing all the work for the flying, you have to rent a car when you get where you're going anyway. And I learned something about renting cars. Never again. I'm not trusting a car from a rental company on a highway or a road ever again. Ever again. 3 fucking cars. Every single one of them was fucked up in some way or another. Nope. I mean, yeah, driving can suck, but I found a way to make it a little bit fun. I got my little accessibility reader thing. I control you. You control me. You couldn't control me if I was on a plane, because there's no internet. What you get on a plane is you pay $50 to get 8 kilobit per second internet with a 900 millisecond ping time to the gateway that doesn't allow you to load YouTube. You would never be able to troll me if I was on a plane. See? We control each other back and forth. It's fun. I get to go through some of these little towns, kind of get a feel for what middle America's like. I get to realize that the grass isn't greener on the other side in every single case, which honestly is something I kind of need to do. I need to be reminded as to why people come to New York City. I need to understand why people come here and what they value about New York City. And when I pass through like some of these towns in Ohio and Pennsylvania and Indiana, I get an understanding of why some people actually think New York is a good place. For the most part, I've spent my entire life having other people doing the transportation for me, whether it's a cab driver or the airplane, a friend, a bus, a train operator. I kind of want to be the one driving for myself for a change. You know, I mean, it's late, but late beats never. People come to New York because they have money to burn. I think a big part of it is because there's opportunity. Like, for all the shit I say about New York City, and I say a lot of shit about New York City, their politicians, their policies, the scammers, all the corrupt ass bullshit in that city, there's a lot of opportunity there. Even now, there's some there's still some opportunity. Again, I'm not saying that the government is good. For fuck's sake, go through my backlog of videos. If you think that I'm a fan of New York City government, I don't know what to tell you. But the one thing I get about New York City, there's opportunity there. If you're willing to work 16 hours a day, there's 16 hours a day worth of work that you can do there. What are you doing? You have no clearance to be making... Oh my god, you fucking... You know, the one complaint I will make about this car is that it has coil whine. It's not nearly as bad as a Bafang BBS HD, where you put 100 watts into the motor and you can hear the coils whining before it starts spinning the motor. Like a cheap Chinese motor has way more coil whine than this thing does. And you know, once you're up to like 60 or 80,000 watts of power, I'm sure you're gonna have some freaking coil whine. But once you go over like a certain speed that I'm not gonna say out here publicly, you hear some coil whine. Yeah, you actually do get some. The idea that, you know, electric is a silence because there's no engine, bullshit. Put 60,000 watts through an electric motor, you'll hear that coil. That coil will sing you a song. Here's the problem with the rural areas. The educational system is non-existent, so everyone who wants a better life gets the hell out. Listen, as someone who grew up in New York City, let me tell you, our education system sucks balls too. Don't get this idea that you're learning all this crazy shit in New York City public school that you're not learning in rural America. Don't get me, I didn't go to the rural America schools, but most of my literacy came from the little alphabet desk, the little smart alphabet desk or something like that. It was a blue and yellow and white tool that taught me words and spelling and all sorts of shit. I learned way more from that little smart alphabet desk than I learned from first, second, probably third grade. You know, our education system here sucks balls. Like, I'm sure that your rural education system sucks balls because it's based on a lot of the same model that our urban education system is based on, which also sucks balls. But yeah, we may have some more fancy colleges and schools and shit like that, but don't get it twisted. Our education sucks too. My education in the city was that I got to get, you know, like 30 MacBooks a day to fix. So I had the ability, which I really valued, to have a lot of devices so that I could kind of learn, okay, this issue comes in 10 times a day. Surely, if I can figure out why this is happening, I'll be able to print money. So let's try and figure out what these 10 devices all have in common. Let's figure it out. Because there's a high population density, there's more going on. And when there's more going on, you have more opportunities to learn. So the having more opportunities to learn because there's more going on definitely affects you. But this idea that, like, you know, when you go to IS-24 or Susan Wagner High School, that you're genuinely getting this quality of education that you're not going to get somewhere in rural Indiana, it's like, it's bullshit. Like, kids are falling asleep as the shitty teacher is doing their best to explain quadratic equations to a class of kids that's mostly high or not paying attention, and then he winds up figuring out a way to pass them all even though they don't know anything so that he doesn't get fired. And then they let them cheat on their statewide exams so that the school doesn't look bad. It's all a part of that bullshit. I would say the issue in the rural towns is opportunity is lacking, not necessarily education. Now, if you want to be a rocket scientist, yeah, you're probably not, you know, maybe Custer, South Dakota doesn't have the best schools in rocket science, but most people that are talking about education, they're not trying to become a rocket scientist. They're just trying to learn enough that they can get involved. My mom likes these kind of videos. She's knitting and watching your stream. Hello to Mrs. Burnwood, and I hope you're knitting something very nice for Jeffrey Burnwood. I appreciate the fact that you watch these streams and are not put off by them entirely, and thank you very much for your patronage. The best education is in rich suburbs. Yes and no. Again, it's all based on the same system. John Doe, are you in Brookfield, Wisconsin? We have internet now, what does it matter? I agree with you there, but the problem is we still have a bullshit localized education system. So what I would prefer to see, what would make me happy, you ever, how about this? Have you ever had a topic where you knew in school you were bad at it? Like 20 or 30 or 15 years ago, you knew you were bad at this topic. And then just for the hell of it, out of curiosity, you go to YouTube and you type that topic in and you click the video that has the most views, the most thumbs up, the best likes and all that. And then that topic that confused the shit out of you as a kid is immediately, it is like an epiphany and you can immediately understand it. And you go to yourself, why didn't my teachers explain it this way? If my teachers explained it this way, I wouldn't have failed so many times. We have the power to take the best teacher, and their lesson need not be limited to that one classroom. Their presentation can be delivered to people around the world at low cost. But we still have a bullshit system where we sit 30 kids in front of one teacher and one chalkboard and believe that that's the way education has to be. And it makes me very depressed when I see the way that, we have Mr. Mecca, the math teacher at Susan Wagner High School, and you guys motherfuckers. Anyway, you have let's say Mr. Mecca at Susan Wagner High School. Every kid failed his class, but what he did was he passed us even when we didn't understand anything because he didn't want to reveal that he could not get an entire class of 30 kids to be able to actually understand the course material. But when I would take that course material that I failed at in his class and I would put it into YouTube and I would just watch somebody else explain it, it all started to make sense. And it's like, why couldn't this person explain it to me? And the crazy thing is, that person who could have explained it to me, that shit's free. It's free. Like, they made that video once. After they made that video once, it is now freely available until the end of time for anybody who wants to learn that topic. It's so depressing. We got fancy schools and I'm way smarter than you. Okay, Yank, grow literally any crop and work 18-hour days. There seems to be this real disdain between Southerners and Northerners to the point where I can actually say that the schools in the South are probably the same as the schools in the North, and just because I have a Northern accent and I'm discussing a topic regarding the South, there is an immediate set of insults thrown. It's very sad because I actually agree with a lot of people that are outside of New York on a number of things, but it doesn't actually matter. Because when they see my license plate, they hear my accent, or they just know where I was born, there will be an immediate sense of hatred. And it is very sad. Very sad. Is this real Autopilot? As real as you want to call Elon Musk's bullshit, fake it, self-driving beta bullshit, I mean, as automatic as you want to consider this crap. And I personally wouldn't consider this to be very automatic because I'm paying attention constantly. For instance, it should have lane changed to the left to allow people to merge so that the cars that were merging didn't smash into my car. It has no idea how to do that. Not even close. No idea whatsoever. No clue. But then again, some of these roads are kind of confusing. Some of these roads are actually confusing. And when you get to roads where like the lanes start going away, what I do is I just turn it off because it gets confused very easily. And then I turn it back on when you're in a road that makes more sense. I also pay very close attention when there's a steep curve because I don't want to die. I'm very, very limited in my trust for Mr. Elon. Mr. Elon, man. My school didn't have anything other than bare minimum classes. Yeah, again, like, we had a computer class in my school, and that's pretty much, here's how you use Word, here's what a spreadsheet is, here's how you make a word bold, here's what cut, copy, and paste was. It was such garbage. It was such... Everybody in the class knew it was bullshit. I knew it was bullshit. We all knew that we just had to be there so that the teacher could get paid, that the teachers union can get what they're, you know, get what they came for. Ken Mason said preach, so I said something he liked, but I forget what it was. Huh. I gotta remember. I remember that name because it usually disagrees with me, so I remember his comments when they show up at something good. Critical race theory doesn't really have anything to do with this because our public education system was complete and utter dog balls long before we had any of this. Oh, but the funny thing with me is when they talk about teaching critical race theory, if they're as ineffective in teaching critical race theory as they are in teaching everything else, nobody cares. So the one thing I remember, every single kid in my school would agree that this is bullshit. This class is bullshit. The fact that we're stuck here is bullshit. The fact that this teacher doesn't really even like what they're explaining to us, this is all bullshit. We all knew it was bullshit. And yet those same people grow up and they're so worried that a teacher is going to teach critical race theory and it may convince a kid of something. Do you remember your own experience in school? You were smoking weed in the bathroom. You know, like, no, you weren't paying attention to any of this shit. You read Spark Notes before the test. You cheated on every test. You didn't pay attention to anything that the teacher had to say. The teacher was horrible at explaining things and very boring. You didn't care. It doesn't matter what they teach kids because the kids are not going to, they don't buy it. Wasn't directed at you, just the snob in chat. Okay, Thomas, I understand. Because I get it that there's like the last hundreds and hundreds of years, like there's a lot of history between the South and the North, and there's a lot of like culture war shit. I get it in my comments sometimes, or the rural city thing, and I appreciate that. Oh fuck! I'm in New Jersey, land of the toll. All right, time to empty my wallet, baby. How many tolls can we get? I am in beautiful, disgusting Columbia, New Jersey, land of the toll and 2.3% property tax. Land of the over $200 billion in unfunded liabilities. Much of which because the NJEA just eviscerated the state. Did you know Dan wants you to move Rossman Group to Florida? I didn't know that. Just be glad you don't live in Finland. Here the taxes to drive a year cost almost as much as a new car. Dude, honestly, I get so much crap in my chat from Europeans talking about how America sucks, but when I hear this stuff, it's just... Like, in my country, this tool costs 3 times as much as it costs in you. You don't understand, Louis. I can't get this tool that you link to in the video description because in my country it costs... Yes, everything is expensive. I get it. We have expensive rip-off healthcare. But you guys have expensive rip-off everything. There are some areas in Fort Lee and Cliffside Park in New Jersey that are honestly really nice. If the state, property tax wasn't so high, I would damn near consider buying a house there. But I can't buy something that I don't own. Tesla wants to switch into the Tesla lane again. This is funny. It always wants to switch into the Tesla lane. That Corolla has no license plate. How the hell are those paper license plates that people put up like that even close to legal? He has a paper license plate and it's flapping in the wind. Like, you couldn't even tape both sides of it, man, really? He taped one side of it and not the other side of it. You gotta be shitting. Jersey is the worst, you can't pump your own gas. Hey, neither can I. When will COVID be over? Never. So, one of the things that I remember people saying a while back was that we need to keep things shut down. We need to, still continue every measure because there's a new variant, and the new variant is going to be horrible. What if the vaccines don't work? What if you get it again? And I remember I read a study yesterday, and I don't have a link to it, so please do search this for yourself. Don't listen to anybody that cannot cite the specific name of the study that they're linking you to, because usually I want you to have the same standards for others that you would of me, or higher. But it was showing that when it comes to reducing hospitalization, oh my god, I feel like shit every time I see a deer on the side of the road like that. It still fucks with me. Is that the current vaccine, the Moderna and Pfizer one, were actually more effective at reducing hospitalizations with new COVID than with old COVID. So it actually kicks the shit out of new COVID more than old COVID. So I got my now I understand the concerns that people have, which is, a lot of people have said, well, what's the point of, why would I get a vaccine for something with a 0.04% death rate or whatever? But the whole point of it is you don't want COVID to have time to mutate into something else inside of you. You wanna, as the Iron Sheik in the wrestling would say, is, break its back, fuck its ass, and make it humble old country way before it has time to mutate into some other shit. So if everybody's vaccinated, even if you do get this COVID, whether it's old COVID or new COVID, your body will kick the fuck out of COVID before it has the ability to mutate into something else. The fear is if a bunch of people are unvaccinated and they get COVID, maybe there's a chance of it mutating into some seriously, more scary Hulk COVID that the current vaccine doesn't do shit against. And that's a worry. So I got vaccinated so that Well, if I get well, if anybody, there's no chance of like new COVID getting me and kicking my ass or anything. There's no COVID mutating inside of me. Fuck that. So for me, I got COVID. I beat COVID. I got vaccine number 1. I got vaccine number 2. I'm good. COVID's over for me. Well, you know, people can like shit on me all they want and say, "Oh my God, how can you say that? What if people die? Blah blah blah." It's like I got vaccinated, and in addition to getting vaccinated, I have antibodies from the first time I had COVID. So I'm invincible. I'm immortal. You know, come at me, bro. COVID ain't got shit on me. I am not afraid of COVID at all. Like the chances of me spreading it to somebody else and it mutating inside of me or something after somebody gives it to me are in so ridiculously slim. I understand the fear since a lot of people haven't been vaccinated, and you have, because COVID, like mostly everything else in the United States, has become a culture war. You have a lot of people that don't want to get vaccinated I don't know. You have a bunch of people that want to wear t-shirts that say, "I got vaccinated," to own the cons, and then you have people that don't want to get vaccinated to own the libs, and all this like retarded hippie horse shit that makes up modern American politics. It's like wrestling. It really is. It's like wrestling. But I understand the idea that there is why people are concerned if a bunch of people aren't vaccinated and they all get COVID and give it to each other. What if one of those people, like what if COVID starts to like slowly mutate as it goes from one person to the next and has time to get strong in their body, and then it comes back to here, and then new COVID, I don't know, not Delta variant, let's call it the Musk variant. So the Musk variant of COVID comes back here, and that kills people that have the vaccine because it's so super mutated. But yeah, for me, COVID is over. You know, I see these places where they're still like, "We're not serving people in our store because of this, that, or the other." It's like, listen, you do you, I'll do me. But a lot of this just seems to have turned into as everything happens in America, a giant pissing contest. You have other people that are like, "I'm gonna cough on each other, and I'm not wearing a mask, and I'm not wearing a mask when I meet my 90-year-old grandma because she ain't no pussy, and I'm not getting a vaccine because Tucker Carlson told me whatever." And then on the other side of the aisle, you have a bunch of people that are like, "I'm gonna wear 2 masks. I'm gonna stay in my house. I'm not going to go back to work because going back to work has a 0.0001% chance of me getting COVID, which then has a 0.00000 point whatever chance of me getting hospitalized and dying. I'm going to wear a shirt that says I got the vaccine. I'm going to scold people that don't get the vaccine. I'm going to, you know, I'm going to wear a mask until 2050, even if I'm not sick." Like, it's all just become so retarded, and I can't. I can't. I do what I do. What I do is based on what I see in reality and what works for me. Before I got the vaccine, I wore a mask. I limited my interactions with other people. I limited my, I wasn't going to giant parties and shit like that. I got COVID. I beat COVID. I got a vaccine for COVID. Other people have had a chance at this point to get a free vaccine for COVID for months now. I'm good. If I give you COVID and something happens to you because I gave you COVID and you don't have a vaccine, I consider that now a you problem. That is a you problem. I did what I was supposed to do. You do you. That's called America. That's called freedom. You know, but I don't know when this is going to be over. We're going to be moving into round 2 soon. And round 2 is going to be the eviction moratoriums coming to an end and the foreclosure moratoriums coming to an end. So even during the last recession, you know, even though there was a lot of fuckery that went on with the banking system, at the end of the day, it was people doing stupid shit. It wasn't the government saying you're not allowed to work. Once people that were told you're not allowed to work, you can't go to work, you're not essential, Andrew Cuomo says so, you're not allowed to make money, are then told by that same government, if you don't have $50,000 to pony up and bank back rent or mortgage or whatever, or 20K or whatever it is, you're going to be kicked out on the street. Oh, that's going to be something. That's going to be something. Man, all the people that thought that those riots and protests and all that shit last June was horrible, they ain't seen nothing yet. Well, you try to evict and foreclose on millions and millions of people. That's going to be fun. John said that there's more chance of dying in a car crash than dying of the new COVID variant after vaccination. I have zero fear of that. Again, honestly, with my health profile, like again, I'm in my early 30s. I'm not obese. I go running. I lift weights. I stay in shape. And after I got COVID and beat it, my chances of dying from this are like slim to none. I got the vaccine so that the reason I got it is so that it doesn't mutate into some crazy shit inside of me, and then I wind up giving somebody else some crazy ass mutated variant of COVID that then kills us all. So I got the vaccine for that. I didn't get the vaccine because I feared the 0.04% mortality rate. That's probably even lower once you get to people in my age group. I got it for everybody else so that there's no crazy ass mutated COVID inside of me that comes back and fucks over everybody else. But yeah, COVID being over, I guess it depends on your latitude and longitude, like many things in America, you know. You really do want to go into your Tesla lane, do you? This car seriously thinks that the passing lane is the Tesla lane. Like, it just loves this lane. If you have this in full self-driving, it will always go for this lane. It loves it. Don't tailgate me. This will not end well if you tailgate me. This car is radar. It phantom brakes. I think he heard me. I think he heard me. This car phantom brakes. I swear to Christ, never tailgate a Tesla. Never tailgate a car made by Elon Musk. Unless you can read the VIN and know that it was made after May of 2021. Just don't do it. It's if you value your life, don't tailgate a Tesla. If this thing sees a shadow on the road, it is going to go full brakes, full regenerative braking, and you're no, it's bad. Where are you now? I'm in Stanhope, New Jersey. The problem with COVID isn't the variants, it's unhealthy lifestyle. If you're overweight, drink too much, use drugs, and don't do moderate exercise, you're vulnerable. I agree, but at the same time, there was also this one dude, I think it was like African or South African swimmer, like, you know, some Olympic champion or something that was close to death from COVID. Again, like, am I personally afraid of it? No. I've seen the statistics. I've seen the numbers from the not from some like YouTube conspiracy channel where they tell you that the vaccine gives you 5G, but from the New York City Department of Health. The New York City Department of Health showed the amount of people that did not have a pre-existing condition that died of COVID between the age of 25 and 34. I looked at that sheet and thought, oh, okay, so this is not the next Ebola. And I adjusted my risk profile and what I'm willing to do or not do accordingly. But I have no problem stopping it from becoming the next, you know, super COVID. I know Erica doesn't believe this all the way. So here's a funny story. So you guys may laugh at this. I'm afraid of needles. I'm scared shitless of needles. So I am going to get the COVID vaccine. I'm like, I don't want to get it because I'm afraid of needles. I don't want to get this. And Erica says, you should get it. You should schedule your appointment. Overcome your fear. You have a fear of it. I want you to overcome your fear. If you do it, I'll be proud of you. So I schedule my vaccine. I go to get the vaccine. I get it. And then she says, I'm so proud you overcame your fear. I'm like, okay, when can I schedule you for it? And she goes, no. And I go, huh? Why not? And she goes, I don't want to be hamster. I don't want be hamster. She says, I don't want be hamster. And I go, you mean guinea pig? And she goes, yeah, guinea pig. I don't want to be a guinea pig. And I'm like, you'll let me be a guinea pig then. Now, if you think the vaccine is so bad that you don't want to be a guinea pig for it, then why the fuck are you telling me that I should get it? Oh, that was funny. And then there's like, what if there's long-term side effects, it could make you sterile or something. It's like, okay, next time we go to get it on, I'm not going to go for the condom. Hey, why aren't you going for, what? I'm vaccinated. I thought I'm sterile now. Oh, clearly you don't believe this shit now, do you? Now, do you? Let's see if you put your money where your mouth is. Why do we need birth control? I have a COVID vaccine. I can't have kids. Oh, you don't really buy that bullshit that you're reading in YouTube comment sections, do you? Do you? I'm glad, Ken Mason. I'm glad. I don't want kids either. Sometimes I think I want kids. Sometimes I wonder if my biggest fear is being the type of parent that my mother was. Everybody says they're going to do better than their parents, but like it's easier said than done. I think I would be because I held my parents accountable for the things that I think they didn't do that were great, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know about him. We'll see. Pfizer turned Viagra, thank you. It just seems weird. Like, for millions of years, people were fucking through wars, they were fucking through famine, they were fucking through being chased by bulls and lions and tigers. They had kids through, back before people were able to shower or bathe themselves more than once a year, when you couldn't wash that disgusting armpit stench off of you, and you had disgusting year-old BO. People were still having sex and having kids, only for me to end it here. That's just so... Like, for millions of years, people were doing what they had to do to make sure that my lineage could get here. And now I'm just going to not do it? Because the price of lumber went up, so that housing prices have gone up? Oh no, inflation went up 14%, I guess I can't have kids. People were fucking through wars. People were having kids when they were afraid of Germany dropping bombs on America. They were having kids when they were cutting people's heads off during the French Revolution. And here I'm gonna not have kids? It just seems so lame. It seems so, Okay, the speed limit really does seem to be just a suggestion on whatever it is I'm on right now. The speed limit seems to be a complete suggestion in New Jersey. This is interesting. Alright. No need to drive like these. So for I-80 East in Wharton, New Jersey area, how does this work? Can some people who are New Jersey residents or more experienced drivers give me an idea? It says speed limit 65. I can tell you, I know for a fact that that guy is doing 90 to 100, and so are some of the people around him, and nobody seems to care. Like, can I do that? It's 65 if you see a cop. But I mean, what does the cop even do? If everybody is going 90 miles or 100 miles an hour, then how does the cop stop everybody? It's kind of a... There's rules and there's laws, and then there's New Jersey. And every time I see someone that's going like 35 miles an hour over the speed limit as they're passing me, it's somebody in a riced out Dodge Charger or Dodge Challenger. There's something about the Dodge Challenger that makes it a appealing car to the ricer. Do you hear that? I think that's a Dodge. Let's see. Rice mobile right there. So much rice. Oh, Jesus Christ, what am I doing? The rice mobile has left. Let's check. I know this car can smoke all these other cars around here. I just have no desire to go 100 miles an hour and have my license taken away. I like my driver's license. Any car that is under $30,000 will attract the worst drivers. Don't just... And if it's very fast. Huh. I guess that's what the... What is attractive about the Dodge... Those Dodge cars. Are those Dodge Chargers and Challengers any good? Like in contrast to a Toyota Camry or Corolla? What makes them a no? I'm curious. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I'm curious as to the why. I'd like to know the why. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just want to learn. Dodges or Chryslers? Okay, is Dodge actually made by Chrysler, or are you just saying they're similar to Chrysler? Dodge is made by Chrysler. Okay, say no more. Now I know. Okay. I understand completely now. So they break down every 2 weeks. So when I get back home, I'm gonna pet my cat Emily. I got some board repair videos to edit. Some people were doing board repair videos while I was gone. Gotta make sure there's nothing burned out at the shop. I want to start getting ready to teach classes at the store again. I would like to start teaching board repair classes at the store again, so I'd like to have a brainstorming session with everybody on that. When you buy me a house, Phil. No beer, no drinking. That GMC truck is gigantic. You ever see the meme of like the Dogecoin meme where the little Doge is on steroids and he's all ripped? That's what I'm reminded of when I see whatever that GMC truck is in front of me. That GMC truck is fucking gigantic. It has, the thing have 8 wheels? It looks like it has like 6 or 8 wheels. Whoa. Big wheels, small pee-pee bus. That truck probably has a really... Steve and I were laughing because when we were on the way to Florida, he was every time we saw a big truck, we wanted to get a look at the person inside of it. And like the bigger the truck, the skinnier the arms and the more bald and the kind of wimpier the person that was driving it looked. It was almost a direct correlation, actually. I mean, that granted, we had a very small sample size. This was just the sample size where we were memeing. But, like, maybe 8 or 9 trucks, but it was funny. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so this truck looks like it has 6 wheels. That is a gigantic fucking truck right there. I'm very curious to see the driver. Okay, he's running away now. He's afraid. Now, I'm going to figure out how big your pee-pee bus is. Come back here, GMC. Come back here! I want to see your pee-pee bus! Pee-pee bus! 8.55 volts or 8.1? Whoa. Jeep ahead with douchebag lane change. Bus, pee-pee bus, pee-pee bus, pee-pee bus. Is the Ford Fusion a good car? I saw a couple of those on the road. I see it's like $21,000, $22,000 hybrid small sedan. All hail, it really depends on your priorities. It's not about the location of the car being in New York that matters. It's, is having autopilot and having a fully electric vehicle worth it to you to pay the price premium for it and also deal with the meme build quality? I can't tell you what car you should get because I don't know what matters to you. I thought the best car was not the Honda Accord, but the riced out Honda Civic. With a propeller spoiler with little flame marks on it. What would you rate the Tesla with regards to other cars and its functionality? I mean, you're asking somebody that doesn't have experience with a lot of cars, so that doesn't make sense. I mean, it wouldn't make sense for me to give you an answer. Again, I'm spoiled by all electric. I'm an electric fanboy. I'm not a Tesla fanboy, I'm an electric fanboy. I like the simplicity of them. I like the way electric feels. I was spoiled by electric from the moment that I got on my electric bike. I got spoiled by instant torque. I got spoiled by no emissions. I got, you know. And the options for all electric right now are pathetic garbage. They're all pathetic garbage. It's just which pathetic garbage is worth it. Long Island will work every day. Camry is nice, but Tesla looks cool. Here's the thing. If you're an electric fanboy like me, go for a Tesla. If you're not an electric fanboy, then use and enjoy your Camry until you kill it. There's nothing wrong with driving a Toyota Camry. It's a fine vehicle. Stop tailgating me.
In 1 mile, keep a right to stay on Interstate 80 east toward New York.
I got spoiled by electric. Like once you go electric, you just don't want to go back. For me, it's weird because I started with electric. So I started out with, you know, all the electric bikes that I was working on and building. So I was used to what electric is like. And then when I got in a gas car, it was just kind of a
now
what this moment.
To stay on Interstate 80 east.
You fucking stupid piece of shit. Full self-driving my balls. It's actually telling me which way to stay, but the car cannot follow the voice of the navigator. Oh no, a fork in the road. What do I do? Stay right. Stay right. I am afraid to stay right. Elon beats me when I stay right. No, I don't want to be beaten by Elon and Grimes. I don't want to watch Grimes have sex with Elon. Please don't make me. Don't make me! This poor little AI is probably fucking traumatized. How many times do you think this AI has had to see Elon impregnate Grimes? Oh god, that's gotta be awful. That's gotta be awful. Yeah, by the way, if you're getting this for full self-driving, just realize safety assist. I like to call it safety assist. It's a fine feature. I love how it scares the fuck out of you with that like really, really loud and obnoxious noise. Ah! It doesn't know whether to. It's like you have a choice: go left or stay right. The car is saying, "Stay right." Listen to yourself, meme car. Believe in yourself. You told me to stay right. You should stay right too. Don't just start beeping like crazy because you can't Kyle Kalinske or Ben Shapiro. You said stay right, so listen to Ben Shapiro. I don't know. I'm just memeing at this point. That was funny. This car needs a New Yorker voice. I'm driving here. Yeah. This shit's funny. Navigation is standard for Google Maps. Yeah, I'm not complaining about the navigation. The car should learn the navigation. Navigate on autopilot. My balls. Electric vehicles don't have range compared to ICE cars. I mean, it's true. This car claims 353. You're probably not going to charge it all the way because that takes forever, so you're going to have 320. Of the 320, you're probably going to get 280. And my Nissan Sentra, which is a piece of shit, $19,000 car, easily gets 380 to 400. Steve's car gets 580 to 600 miles on a single charge. I mean, on a single gas tank. That is true. And it's not really Musk's fault, it's the fault of battery technology, just not evolving yet. Once that evolves, it'll be better for everybody. I should probably charge before I go home. I don't want to leave this car in a garage that I cannot charge it in with nothing on there. So we're gonna find ourselves a charger. Speaking of range, range anxiety has entered the chat.
Drive east on Interstate 80 East for 3.6 miles.
That is dangerous. You can't really tell because the camera is kind of zoomed out here, but Somebody did something really stupid in front of that truck. No, having to stop to charge definitely takes way longer than a gas car.
In 1 mile, take exit 54 on the right onto Menacing Road.
Large truck has entered the chat. Yeah. Shoe large truck.